I'm hit going live. It says it's going live and we're live.
Hi, welcome to StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 417. Woo. And yeah, Amy was asking about my glasses. I just thought I'd point out like it's kind of dusty and the weather's been changing and gross here. So my eyes didn't feel like opening enough to get the contacts in this morning.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well,
And then
today is kind of a special episode because we're going to be talking about all things ZK, just the retreat, so that we can pop this video into some, locations so that people know what it's all about, what to expect. And then knowing that on Sunday at noon, the remaining spots that weren't snagged up by the ZKN members will be made public. So I just wanted to get this out here so that everybody can kind of get a sense if you're new, or maybe, last year was your first year, or maybe you came many years ago at one of our older venues and you're just like, kind of like, okay, who moved my cheese? What's going on now that it's at the new venue? So yeah, just thought we would cover that.
Yeah, I think we could start from the very beginning. The event has been going on since the year after we started podcasting, right? So 2012, been going on since 2012. Does that sound right?
Close.
Yeah.
11 or 12.
Yeah, and kind of the genesis of the whole event is that you and I had gone to, we get asked this question a lot, so I thought we'd throw it in there. The genesis was that we had both kind of went to other events and felt like downtown Rochester would provide a unique urban retreat experience, which is that you wouldn't have to necessarily drive unless you wanted to. So because everything is kind of co-located and very condensed in downtown Rochester due to it being the home of the Mayo Clinic, there's a lot of really great shopping spots, food spots, and other activities in addition to the activities we would plan for the retreat that we thought that it would be a great locale. We've been at myriad different hotels in downtown Rochester, starting out at the Kaler, and then moving to the Marriott, and then moving our home was at the DoubleTree for quite some time. And then I actually know somebody who has a student that is living there with it as dorms now for the University of Minnesota Rochester. So we went to our current location, which you can tell us a little about, Amy.
Yeah, so we are at the Hilton in downtown Rochester. It is on the third floor. We have floor to ceiling windows. It's so beautiful, airy and light. And we have that whole floor to ourselves. And so unless people get lost on their way to floor 4, it's all of us in there. And it was great. First time at the new location. It just changed up the schedule just a little bit, but not a lot. And we're excited to be in the Hilton so that, you get that natural light in the ballrooms and you don't have to feel like you need to break away because you don't want to be in this dark, or not dark, but, in this windowless room any longer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The location again is very centrally located, but all of those previous hotels that I mentioned would also be, other than the one that became a dorm, unless you're interested in going back to college, would be great alternatives. I know I appreciate being able to just get in the elevator and go back up to my room because I stay so late. But definitely walkable distance, all of the other locations. And then we do have group rates at the Hilton, right?
Yeah. So if you notice from our retreat, this year it's $240, and that includes the ballrooms, your gatherings. We have a 5K, we have a goodie bag, things like that. But it's so reasonable because you can pick and choose, kind of choose your own adventure as far as where you want to sleep, how expensive or non-expensive you want your meals to be. And so we feel like it's a good, I don't know, pick and choose what you want to take from the retreat and enjoy all that downtown Rochester has to offer, as well as, the community that we've brought together. Because knitters will take over that downtown for those 4 days, and it's so magical just to see knitters everywhere you go. And yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So in that kind of choose your own adventure, I know you kind of mentioned what was included, but there's also the opportunity to lead a breakout session in there, as well as take many breakout sessions. We have a designer showcase where if you're a budding designer or a designer that's looking to expand your audience, you can not only be involved in our KAL, but also have a showcase at the event where people can hear about you, about your designs, about your design aesthetic, about how you design things. Like lots of opportunity to share there, as well as our fabulous marketplace, which people come from all over Minnesota to come and see, as well as our attendees that are from all over the our not only our vendors but our attendees that are from all over the so it's kind of I've decided to quit using the term melting pot, because everything kind of loses its identity in a melting pot. But the salad bowl, like you get some distinct, like, crunch and some nuts and some, like, yeah. So a salad bowl of fiber arts that come to Rochester, Minnesota, and attendees. So.
Yeah, and one thing that you had brought up in there, our KAL, is another thing that we provide in the experience. So we all knit along in advance of the retreat for points, but just for fun, and kind of meet people in our groups and cheer each other on in Discord. And it kind of fosters a community before you get there, so that if you're brand new or you're kind of relinking with old friends, gives you that chance 6 months leading up to the retreat to be able to, join in that community. And we usually do little challenges. So basically fitting your knitting. All knitting counts, or crafting counts. But if you want it to have bonuses, we say, work with a vendor yarn, work with a designer pattern. And then on top of that, just like little challenges. I think our first one last year was texture. So, anything that had a texture to it beyond straight stockinette. So.
Yeah, excellent. So yeah, I was thinking it might make sense to jump into like a timeline, right? So obviously right now is signups, which is in September. The event is in June next year. So a lot happens between now and then. The signups are happening now. And once we get through all of our ZKN and the public availability of those spots, you will be sending out an email. There's a form. The form is very important this year, because rather than having you sign up for things throughout, we're kind of asking you for things up front. Important things. So please make sure that you get that in, as well as kind of the email address that we'll be reaching out to you with, because that really bootstraps the whole process of information coming your way about the event and that timeline. Again, the next step after you have registered is the form. Again, if you don't get like a return to previous page or whatever at the end of signing up, we will add you to the form if we've seen that you've not filled the form out. And then that again bootstraps the whole process. And then further information will be coming about our hotel block, right?
Yes. Yeah, so that first initial email will have our hotel block in it. It's very important that you put the dates that you are going to be traveling, because I try to explain this to people because I know that it's not common knowledge. When you get a hotel block, it could be for 10 days. And it kind of cycles like a few rooms and then heightens at the peak of the event and then tapers off towards the end. And our link will send you to that entire 10 block. Um, and if you don't change the dates, as soon as these Monday rooms are gone, it'll say that the rate is not available. But if you change your start date over to when you're actually going to arrive, you will see our rates. So be sure to change the dates for at the top after you click through the link to the dates that you want to travel. And then you will see the rate that is on the website. If it does sell out really quickly, you can ping us via Discord or replying to my email. I can contact the hotel and see if they're willing to open up a few more rooms in our block. But right now, I think we have plenty. So hopefully that works out well. But again, if for some reason it's not working for you, you can reach out and I can see what I can do to open up some more.
Yeah. So yeah, once signups are complete, we will also have a special channel we already have some channels, but some further special channels in our Discord, and we'll get people added there. That is available up until and even after the event to start kind of figuring out who's going, chat about being excited to coming to Rochester, as well as start making some of that craft along KAL plans. Which generally starts off in January 1, right?
Right. So there will be some kind of general announcements like when I have the finalized market, I like to do an email. When I have the finalized designer showcase, I like to post an email. So there will be informational, but hopefully not as many like things where you have to contact us. And then what I want to say, yeah, just be watching out for that designer. Like if you're a designer and you want to share with people your designs and your passion around your designing, we offer up some time on our schedules so that you can communicate with our attendees. I find it very awesome. Like it is really fun each year to see all these, new to me designers or the designs that are coming up from my favorite designers. And yeah, it's a nice informational session. So
yeah, absolutely. What was I going to say in there? So yeah, then you start planning for the 2024 as it was, as it is for this ZK. And travel is often something that we get a question about. So you'd probably be booking your travel, right?
right.
And so there's two airports that are within, driving distance of our event. There's the Minneapolis airport, and then there's the Rochester airport, which is literally in the same city. I would say the Minneapolis airport is much more, I don't know if reliable is even a word that I would use right now about the airline industry, but there's other alternatives in that, a lot more alternatives in that airport, but it is an hour 40-minute shuttle that you have to book separately from Minneapolis to Rochester, and there's the Rochester shuttle service from Minneapolis. Do look at the times that it's available. It does not run 24/7, right? So if you're arriving at a very late hour or a very early hour, that might be something that you would have to wait for that shuttle. I've gotten caught by that with some of my recent traveling. And then, yeah, Rochester has quite fewer flights in. You'll often have to have a connecting to get there, right? So whether it be like a Chicago or Minneapolis, but then again, it's very nice because you're just in the city and you can pick up an Uber or a shuttle. I can't remember. Does our hotel have a hotel shuttle to the airport? I don't think it does. No. Okay.
No. Once you get, yeah, I don't. don't know how many people know this, but like, as your tiers of hotels go up, sometimes the amenities go down. So you can book a shuttle. It's $75 and it's
Okay,
like a
got
black
it.
town car.
Okay, cool.
But
Fun.
call the Hilton for their current rates. I believe that's what it was last year.
Okay, yeah. So an Uber would probably be, or I think there are also shuttle services to the Rochester airport as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, there are Groom, I think, is another one that runs from either Rochester or Minneapolis. Um,
mhm.
check out the reviews on all of these things. Also, Discord is a great resource because people who have come year after year, they kind of have their plans and they know what they like and can give you recommendations and just, yeah. We believe that our retreat is not one that you need to rent a car for.
Yep.
So once you get to Rochester, you have access to a grocery store, essentials if you need them. Yeah, you are covered within walking distance for the Rochester downtown area. So, and plenty of locals that have cars and are very generous and nice with, if a real emergency happens and you really want to get to Target,
Mhm.
there are some people who can help you out with that.
And again, I'm just like, so like travel and doing things has just become so much easier. I again sound like an old person here recently, but like with Uber and Uber Eats, like you can get food delivered, you could get like groceries delivered to you at the hotel. Like, yeah, there's a lot of options that you definitely don't necessarily need a car in downtown Rochester, Minnesota. But yeah, so booking that travel is obviously something that you have to do before June. I think I can't remember where the happy spot is, but in general, I think like February or March, if you're flying, is where the rates probably are going to be as low as they will be
Mhm.
before that June timeframe. And then like we often start in January saying June is soon, right?
Yeah.
And the excitement really picks up. And you and I are running around like crazy people trying to make sure that we can get everything in place. But the KAL is in full swing. Those connections with others are happening, and making plans and imagining yourself in Rochester. Also during that time before you arrive, there's the the 5K prediction that is happening. What else leading up to the actual event is going on?
I had one and then it left. Like it was funny. It was like while you were talking, I was like, oh yeah, that. And then as soon as it left. No, it's wonderful. I think that that June is soon, as soon as it hits 2024, or at the beginning of the year, it just seems to be rolling downhill, picking up speed and
Yeah.
heading in to Rochester. So
I know you were talking about the designers, and this year we have a designer that is our keynote speaker.
oh yes.
That's also included that we haven't mentioned yet. Again, that's not on the timeline. Okay, last thing I'll say about the timeline. Some people do arrive much earlier than our Wednesday midday early check-in and kind of hang out in Rochester, and some people stay later, right? Like where you kind of get that retreat drop off and some sadness after it's all over. And so the hotel rooms being, the hotel room availability adjacent to that is also nice if you can swing it and you'd like to hang out a little bit longer
Yeah, something
before.
you said there sparked in me. We have a early registration night. So if you like to not have the harried travel day of, and you want to get there Wednesday, Wednesday at 3, we start early registration. So people will be there. They'll be
Mhm.
hanging out in the ballrooms. It'll be kind of just a gentle start to the weekend. And then Thursday morning at 9 a.m., festivities start. So then at 9 a.m. till I would say, till the end of the evening, absolutely. But I forget when our registration ends on that day. I think it's 5 p.m. on Thursday is our last spot for registration, or maybe it's 3. Oh, it's 3. Okay, I
Mhm.
need to bring up my own schedule. So anyway,
All that to say, you will get a schedule that will have all of that on it,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
you will get a schedule. Anyway, keynote on Friday evening and then our market on Saturday. So those are just kind of the highlights of what you would get each day. And then just milestones, like as in like, oh, if I can't make it in until Thursday evening, you haven't missed the keynote, you haven't missed the market, you've just missed that first day of potential drop-in classes. But start fresh in the morning and you'll get that 5K, you'll get that keynote and all those wonderful things on Friday. So yeah, we love our retreats. I think it's a great value.
Mhm.
And we hope to see everybody in Rochester. Again, if you have any questions prior to registering or even shortly after, you can contact me, Amy at StockinetteZombies.com, and I will try to answer your questions.
Agreed, agreed. And we have a great community. A lot of it is a lot of why we're able to put this together and kind of have it be that choose your own adventures, because we have so many people that are fabulous and help. So volunteer for us or help with us with the signups, getting registered and manning those tables, teaching the classes, the designers coming in, 5K helpers with timing and other items. And I think I've mentioned it on the podcast, but again, new audience here. It may seem like everybody that is going to ZK has already been to ZK, but year over year, we always have at least 50% brand new people that are showing up for their first time. So you will not be alone.
Yes.
And we often have opportunities for people to, we've learned over the years to connect with other people that it's their first time, or designate people that are returning members to be able to kind of help answer and shepherd. Because again, it's a big event. There's a lot going on. There are people that really want to engage and do a ton of stuff, and this is the retreat for you. Or if you just want to kind of hang out and hit some of the high spots that Amy just touched on, this is also the retreat for you, right? You can kind of choose your own adventure, choose your own pace. And we appreciate
Yeah.
that.
And if you haven't seen pictures of it in the past and whatnot, I'll say that on average, we have 150 people. If you take all the years, the low years and high years, it's around 150 people. So then 50% is 75 new people
Mhm.
on average every year. So yeah, you won't be alone, and you will. There's all the opportunity in the world, and we hope that you take full effect of it. But yeah, come join us.
Yes, absolutely. That is the bottom line, right? Like I feel like we try to set the vibe, that it's like, come join us, come sit with us. Let's, again, another part of not of having it be urban and kind of in a dense area where you don't need a car is that there isn't like trying to figure out transportation and logistics. It's like, everybody just come on, we're going to Victoria's and we're going to grab salads, or okay, I'm going for a coffee. Does anybody else want to join me? And we try to again set that vibe of like, let's everybody can come. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're not shy, just add yourself.
Plus one, plus one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, plus one.
Yep. Yep.
And scoot on in, because we're all fiber artists and we all have that in common. So even if,
Yeah.
it's not a tight click, it's definitely
Yeah.
a pleasant
Ask me
interaction.
about my sweater. Ask me about the yarn. Yeah, exactly. Let's connect for sure. So yes, I echo Amy's sentiment, and please join us. And if you've got any questions, we are always available. So
Yeah. All right. Bye.
bye, Ufta. All right.